Today we're going to talk about the precise training for lifting nasolabial folds. Hi everyone, I'm your structural anti-aging coach, Jessie Lee. From the structural perspective, when we addressing aging, the first thing we look at is not a local area, but the home system of our body. Sometimes you may see me talking about training the feet to improve the face, and this is exactly why. That is because every change we see in the face is the final expression of the changes that have occurred throughout our structure. And when I say structure, I'm not referring only to the body, it also includes the body, the mind, emotions, and even the spiritual dimension. It is an integrated multidimensional system. What most people notice are those two lines on the face. What I see is your neck, your head, your rib cage, your pelvis, your leg, and your feet. 10 people have nasolabial folds, may have 10 completely different underlying causes. Today we're going to begin with temporalis muscle. So first, let's watch this video. You can clearly see the movement pattern of the temporalis muscle. Almost every animation or explanation you can find online shows this same movement pattern. However, there's another movement pattern that is often overlooked. Before we discuss that, let's first review the conventional understanding. This is a function you will find in almost every anatomy textbook or search engine. Its primary functions can be summarized as this. The first is elevating the jaw by clenching the teeth. The second is retracting the mandible through the posterior fibers. The last one is helping stabilize the jaw during the movement. But if we look more closely, you will notice that the muscle fibers of the temporalis are actually arranged like this. You can see anterior fibers, they're almost vertical. Middle fibers, which run diagonally, and then you will see posterior fibers, they're almost horizontal. This tells us that the temporalis is not designed to move in only one direction. The vertical fibers mainly generate upward movement. The posterior fibers help pull the jaw backward. Together with the diagonally oriented fibers, the temporalis is able to guide the mandible from the multiple dimensions. It will help providing the fine control of jaw movement while helping maintain left-right balance and temporomandibular joint stability. Therefore, if your jaw shifts to one side when you open your mouth, if your bite feels uneven, or if your jaw movement isn't smooth, the cause may not only involve the temporomandibular joint itself, it may also be related to an imbalance in tension or neuromuscular control between the left and the right temporalis muscles. When one temporalis becomes chronically overactive while other side cannot coordinate properly, unequal pulling force may develop during jaw movement. This will lead to deviation and compensation. Now let's do a simple test together. Place your hand gently over your temporalis muscle. If you have a thicker hair, slide your fingers beneath your hair, so your fingertips can rest directly on your scalp, like this. Now take a deep breath. Feel how temporalis are moving. Then slowly breathe out. Feel how they are moving. Let's pause for a moment. So you will notice during the inhalation, the temporalis region feels like it is expanded slightly outward. As you exhale, it begins to relax again. Now let's do another experiment. Keep your hand on your temporalis muscles, but don't put on your temple, just on your temporalis muscle. Now clench your teeth. Do you notice that the temporalis also bulge outward slightly? Now relax your jaw. You will feel it soften again. This tells us that both breathing and clenching the teeth are accompanied by subtle changes in the temporalis region. Now I have another question for you. Think about, when a muscle works over a long period of time, can it influence the surrounding soft tissues, fascia, and the mechanical loading on the bone beneath it? Of course, it can. Now, let's come back to the temporalis muscle. They are on the surface of the temporal bones. Chronic muscle tension will gradually influence the jaw movement pattern as well as the mechanical balance of the temporomandibular joints. And I have another question. So, under what kind of movement pattern might the temporalis muscles influence the appearance of nasolabial folds? According to the nasolabial fold structural kinetic chain model that I talked in the previous videos, the answer is yes. In this model, our focus is not whether the temporal bones itself physically shift. Instead, we look at how long-term tension patterns within the temporalis region influence the loading environment of the midface through the fascial connections, muscular coordination, and jaw control, ultimately affecting the appearance of the nasolabial folds. Now I'm going to explain this in a way that isn't perfectly scientific, but it's much easier to understand. You can simply think of it like this. When the temporalis moves forward, it tends to squeeze the nasolabial folds. When it moves backward, it tends to tighten and lift them. When the temporalis muscle expands outward, it tends to sunken your temple and deepen the folds. When it gathers inward, it tends to create the lifting effect. That's why when I design the facial training exercise, I always build them around the movement patterns that encourage lifting rather than compression. Earlier, I asked you to feel the changes in your temporalis muscles during the inhaling and exhaling, because I want you to understand one important point. Breathing must be integrated into the training if you want to achieve the best possible results. From everything we've discussed today, you can see that when our movement patterns follow sound mechanical principles, we are not just improving the nasolabial folds, you are also helping improving the sunken temples and lifting the entire face and creating natural, slimmer facial appearance. This is a fundamental logic behind the structural anti-aging facial training. Now, let's start our practice. Place both hands over your temporalis muscles, making sure not to press directly on your temples. As you inhale, relax. As you exhale, gently press into temporalis muscles while opening your mouth and lightly gliding your jaw forward. Try to exhale as long as you can. We will do 5 to 10 repetitions. For the second exercise, we will follow the same breathing pattern. Relax as you inhale. As you exhale, gently press on the temporalis muscles. This time, simply open your mouth. You do not need to glide your jaw forward. At the very end of the exhale, gently tuck your lips inward. This helps activate your cheek muscles, allowing them to work in coordination with the movement of temporalis muscles. This helps activate your cheek muscles, allowing them to work in coordination with the movement of temporalis muscles. Some of the students are asking very good questions. Sometimes we need to lift our temporalis muscle. Sometimes we have to do the pressing. So what's the difference between those two techniques? So for the lifting techniques, we can easily see the noticeable result in the short term. But the pressing techniques is to address the issues from functional principle. So lifting is for short-term noticeable result, and pressing is for long-term maintenance. So for the facial lifting techniques, we need both.